Yo, it's Idlewild. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button so you never miss an upload. What's up, players? It's Idlewild here coming at you with another scheme video. So the DB contained blitz is back, and for those of you that don't know about that, I'll explain that in just a second. But essentially, a lot of the popular blitzes from last year have gotten even better this year due to the DB contained blitz. It was in last year in the beginning, but they patched it and took it out, and they might take it out again this year. But for right now, it's in the game, as you can see right there on the logo. But it kind of sucks getting blitzed, doesn't it? Your opponent's screaming at you, and if you don't know what to do and you panic, you can either take a sack or you can get baited into a throw and throw an interception. So I thought I'd make this video showing you guys two easy ways that you can use the pass game to beat the blitz. And if you do these plays in succession and you move the ball down the field, your opponent is going to have to get out of that blitz, and now he's going to go to a base coverage, which makes you more comfortable in the pocket, and you can pretty much reset the game from there, get them out of their blitz, and then you can go into your scheme. Without further ado, the number two way I like to attack blitzes by using the passing concepts or the passing game is by throwing into the blitz.
Only the Germans understood the importance of concentrating all their mechanized forces in one fast-moving push for the enemy's weak points. The architect of this blitzkrieg.
So as you can see here, I have the DB Fire 2 blitz setup, or not the DB Fire 2. This is the LB Cross 3 Show 2. It's a crossfire blitz, which means the two linebackers will loop from their respective sides and try to come around the center and the guard and attack you through the middle. So before I get into throwing into the blitz, which is a pretty simple concept, I'm going to explain to you guys what this DB contained blitz is. So you see the blitzing angles of Ansa, Hyder Jr., and Zettel. They're kind of sharp and straight to the tackles or straight to the offensive line of scrimmage. If this guy was to QB contain, which means he would press L2 or LT and then press R1, you see how those outside angles change? What that means is those guys are going to come to the outside of the offensive line or outside of the pocket and wait for the QB to come to the outside, and then if he comes to the outside, they're going to contain the QB and either tackle him or push him back into the pocket. So you notice how when we did those QB contains, this corner didn't go into the QB contain even though he's the guy on the outside. That's because he's not in the DB contain yet. If you move him into a little bit, you see how his blitzing angle changes. He becomes the QB contain guy. This was taken out last year because this is what happens. Ansa will go straight on to the left tackle and block the left tackle. That's going to leave Diggs wide open to come clean and free through the edge, untouched. And this is a DB, so he could be 85 plus speed and come and chase down your QB. Not a lot of guys have Michael Vick. Not a lot of guys have Cam Newton or Russell Wilson. So you guys with Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, even with Michael Vick, if you don't recognize it fast enough, are going to get sacked. And this is compounded with the fact that you have these two looping blitzers who can come through on the middle of the A gap in the middle of the pocket at any time if one of these centers or guards miss their assignment. So it's a pretty tough defense to beat. Back that up with if someone makes good defensive adjustments behind it, you're going to have yourself a long day. So the number two way is to throw into the blitz. And what does that mean? That means that you see that these blitzers are coming and leaving their areas of the field, and you're going to throw where they left. So in a traditional zone coverage, Davis will be in a zone like so. Actually, Davis will be in a zone like this. He's going to drop back from the line of scrimmage, sit in his zone, and react and cover routes that come into his area. You can't throw into this area because he's going to be here to guard that area. If he's on a blitz, he's not in that area to guard it. There is no hook curl. There's no one in the hook curl. So we know that the blitz is coming from this side of the field, coming from this position, from this spot on the field. We know there's no one there to guard it. So we're going to throw into where the blitz is coming from. The blitz is coming from here. We're going to throw into this spot because we know there's no, the blitzer has vacated that part of the field and left it wide open for us to attack. So you can attack these with easy routes like in routes, slants, and drags. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put right on a slant. You press triangle or Y if you're on Xbox, select right icon, and select left on the D-pad or the left on the right stick. Triangle Y, R1, and then left on the right stick. Jesus, I suck at this. So you see how right's going out there. There's no one there to stop the slant. He reacted to the slant after, but that's after we were able to complete the pass. So let's run the blitz again. I had to flip the play a little bit, put the QB contains on, And you see again, Davis is gonna vacate that spot. We throw the slant right behind him. And you can throw an in route, you can throw a drag, but essentially your user has to guard. I mean, when he's by himself, the user has to guard wherever the blitz is left. So he has to guard where this guy is coming from. He has to guard where the DB's coming from. And it's simply one man. There's too many holes in the defense for that user to guard. So you attack where the blitzers come from. Let's run it back. So let's say you wanted to attack the other side. Let's say the user linebacker who is in Jones' position wants to guard right. You know that, I mean, this is one spot that the blitz comes from, but the blitz also comes from this guy here too. So you can attack that. You know he's going to come in, so you can put Funches on a slant as well, or a drag or an in route. Let's put him on an in route. So you press triangle or Y to pull up the receiver icons, select Funches, and I'm going to push right on the left D-pad. So you can see there he's on an in route. So you go ahead and throw here. There's no one there because the blitzer has vacated the spot. And that's essentially how you throw into the blitz. You can use slants, drags, in routes, sometimes even post if you can do if you can get out there quick enough. Now what you have to worry about is it's going to be a chess match, so you're going to be able to make that completion, but the defender player, your opponent's going to make adjustments and you have to make adjustments to that. But it's a simple way that you can make completions against the zone defense, and you're probably going to make him get out of the defense if you can't stop those quick completions. Let's go on to the number one way, and that's by using screens.
2nd and 8. We fake the end around to Landry. Little screen pass. This is Miller. A lot of open grass. Miller's still going. 15-10, and he's into the end zone.
So we're out here in a bubble screen, and a bubble screen is simply one of the receivers you see Funches is going to bubble out to the outside, and Moore and Smith are going to block. I like using this against blitzes because it leaves, if you couple this with throwing into the blitz, it leaves the defensive, the user in a tizzy, you know what I'm saying? Because not only does he have to defend those throwing into the blitzes passes, those slants, drags, and in routes, if he's too busy waiting for something to come inside and you go to the outside, he won't be able, not only is the linebackers not fast enough yet in this game to be able to really interact with that pass, he may not even recognize you're throwing it until it's too late. So let's set up this play real quick. Let's set up the blitz. Let's see, let's go here. Set up Quandre Diggs on here, and let's move him back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lend the defense a hand. I'm going to man up Jones on Funches. We all know that Funches is who I'm going to throw to, but let's man him up to simulate the use the linebacker recognizing that he's on a bubble screen and then going to react to the bubble screen. So the bubble screen comes out. You see how he didn't even get out there right away, and we still got 5+ yards out there. If you mix this in with throwing into the blitz, you throw a slant and then you throw a bubble screen, or you throw an in route or a drag, then a bubble screen, or 2 bubble screens and a slant. As long as you make the right read and your opponent is still in the same type of blitz, he's still blitzing, he's going to be in trouble and he's going to have to get out of that blitz. Let's run it one more time. Notice, just take a look at the hesitation that Jones does, and I mean, that's not too far off from what's going to happen from a user. He's going to sit there, realize you're running the bubble screen, then run out there, if he even recognizes it at all. Another way a lot of people like to run crossfire is by putting that linebacker out on the zone. So they'll blitz the cornerback and they'll put that linebacker out there in the zone. So you go, uh-oh, Idlewild, you're playing to shut down now. He's out there in the zone. How you going to complete that pass too? Bro, you can still get it open. That linebacker isn't fast enough to go interact with that pass. Well, what if we put the linebacker? What if we put the linebacker on the hard flat? Well, we can do that as well too. I mean, this is still reminding that you can, even though this linebacker is on a hard flat, you can easily throw a slant or a drag or an in route from Moore, Smith, or anybody. You can still throw this. This still qualifies as throwing into the blitz. So this is not saying that we have to throw the bubble screen, but just showing you that the bubble screen still will be completed. It's just that it's going to be taken down right away. But you still have your throwing into the blitz concepts that you can use. The other screens we like to use are slip screens. You see this here? Let's set up the blitz real quick. This takes advantage of the defense's commitment to sending so many people. Right now, 6 people are blitzing. What the screen is going to do, it's going to fake a pass, and then a lot of 3 linemen are going to go out to block for McCaffrey for a pass. And so you're going to see here, as long as you're able to get the ball off quick enough, I don't know what was going on. It's like he was trying to hump one of his linemen. But you see that McCaffrey was in the open field. Let's take a look at that real quick. He was in the open field by himself. And how this happens is not only is the screenplay effective, but the defense has committed so many people to blitzing that there's not that many defenders left to try to tackle McCaffrey. If you look at this pocket, there's 6 defenders in this pocket right here. There's the linebackers, the linebacker, the lineman, and the cornerback. So that's six defensive players who are pretty much out of the play if McCaffrey doesn't hump his lineman. That only leaves 5 defenders back, a linebacker and 4 DBs. But we have 6 blockers. We have these 3 receivers over here, and then the 3 linemen. We actually have more than 6 blockers and the tight end. So as long as you're able to make the right run read, you should be able to go. So I'm going to throw the screen one more time just to give a good example of it. Hold on. I wanted to man coverage. Hold on, go back. Yeah, there we go. So come over here, Quandre Diggs. I think his name is Quandre Diggs. I'm not 100% sure. Let's go into this screen right here. And you see the blitz is coming, it's coming, it's coming. You get rid of the ball. Now look. It's open season. So between using bubble screens, between using halfback slip screens, and between throwing into the blitz, I believe I've given you 2. It's actually kind of 3 ways, but 2 of them are screens. I've given you a decent amount of ways to use the passing game to beat the blitz. You use this and you abuse this up and down the field, your opponent's going to have to get out of that blitz and get into a more vanilla defense, which will allow you to run your scheme without worrying about getting sacked 0.35 seconds into your passing play. So if you like this video and you learned something, you're able to use this to get some yards, let me know by hitting that like button. If you like my content in general and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And if you do hit the subscribe button, there's a little bell next to it. Go ahead and click it, because that guarantees that you'll never miss an upload. Alright, see you guys around later. Peace.